Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request for Masi from Masi. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, reaction, commentary, review, video game playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to do so. I'll get to it as soon as I can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I appreciate it. And this one is for Basic Instinct, also known as How Pussy Rots a Man's Brain. That's kind of what I took away from it each time I've seen this is, if you want to see how a man's brain gets rotted by pussy, Basic Instinct is how you do it. Now, it came out in 1992, directed by Paul Verhoeven. This is a script that everyone wanted to pay top dollar, that Joe Esterhaus had written. And finally, Paul Verhoeven was able to make it because he had success with RoboCop and Total Recall. Different type of film for him to make. A lot of people didn't want to star in it because it's such a material. So Michael Douglas got it. I think he got a pretty good payday. Now I know Michael Douglas wanted people like Tim Basinger or Michelle Pfeiffer, but they didn't want to do it. So ultimately Sharon Stone, who worked with Paul Verhoeven in Total Recall, and Michael Douglas wasn't sure about her, just like, oh, well, who is Sharon Stone? And then ultimately still came to be. This is a film that I did not watch when I was a kid. I didn't watch a whole lot of erotic thrillers, because I don't know, the erotic thriller genre is not really something I gravitate towards. So like, if I want erotic, I just want the erotic. I want the sexy times. I want the pussy. Just want to watch them fuck. I don't want any other stuff. I don't want any danger and deaths and stuff when I'm thinking of erotic stuff. Because if the dick's hard, I don't want it to melt. I don't want it to go down. I don't want it to be an innie and like a belly button. I'm like, oh, I'm hot, and oh, there's some blood. Go back in the shell. So I didn't really follow into erotic thriller genre like maybe other people did. And then when I saw this, I'm trying to remember when I first saw this, I remember being let down, going, that's it? This is a film that got all this box office and hype, and it's a masterpiece and a classic. And when I watch it again, I kind of felt the same way. I don't love... The film, I think, is okay because of the performances. I think Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone, Wayne Knight is in the film, who was in Space Jam and Seinfeld. I liked George Dzundra, I can't pronounce his last name. The guy who plays Michael Douglas' partner, I really liked him. He was my favorite character in the movie. Because all he was saying was the truth. Like, he was the most relatable because he was telling the truth about Michael Douglas and how fucking stupid he was and how he rotted his brain, how it just was so easily manipulated. I was just so infuriated with his character because he's such a dumb fuck. Like, Michael Douglas, he's such a dumb fuck, it almost takes me out of the movie. But I know that's the purpose, because the purpose is Sharon Stone is a master manipulator. Like, she's Hannibal Lecter or type. I get it, but just... I'm like, you stupid, why are you so stupid? Like, you're so stupid, Michael Douglas. He always had a problem with, like, getting his dick in the wrong places. There was, like, Fatal Attraction, there was this one, and Disclosure. Although, Disclosure was my favorite of the three. I do like Disclosure quite a bit. Because I like Michael Douglas's character. I could feel for him. I kind of like the switch where it was the lady controlling and manipulating. Like, she's the villain, and it's sexual harassment from the other side, which is a real thing. It's not like it's made up. And I thought Demi Moore did a really good job. Yeah, the VR stuff was a bit funky looking. I wish they would have done something different with that. But I still like Disclosure. It's my favorite of the erotic trilogy, I call it, that Michael Douglas did. Fatal Attraction, I don't mind. I would say, honestly, this is my least favorite of those three. Now, I don't think it's a bad film. Don't get it twisted. I just don't think it's as awesome as people make it out to be. Now, the opening is effective. Granted, anytime I watch... Well, anytime. This is probably the second time I've seen this film. But it just reminds me of Hot Shots 2, which I watched much, much more. And that's the thing, I saw Hot Shots 2 before this, so now so many scenes pop up. I think of the parody, like in Hot Shots 2, where you think it's the ice pick, but it's a screwdriver and fixing it, and oh, ride him cowboy. And then before she went on the high dive and bat flipped and landed on Charlie Sheen. Or she does the late crossing bit as a little beaver for the beaver shot. So I didn't, I can't help it. Each time, I say each time, the second time, watching it, I just keep thinking of Hot Shots Part 2, which I watch a lot more. I know it's not fair to the movie, but yeah, I tell you, I watch, I just think of the parody in my brain. Just, I love Hot Shots 2. Rest in peace to the director of that. I love that film. So the beginning, again, I'm thinking of Hot Shots 2. But I forgot how violent it was. Very violent. Ice pick goes right into the nose, which I think Rob Bottin worked on that. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot to do. There's not a whole lot to do in this movie concerning effects. Although, I wonder if he made like the fake pussy. Maybe he made like a fake pussy for the lake crossing scene. I would not be surprised if they did that. I don't know. Haven't looked up info about the film, to be fair. But it's an effective opening. A lady's having sex with a guy. She tied him up. Ice pick right into the nose. Like through the nose here. Again, I was like, ooh, shit, I forgot about that. So then you get to the rest of the plot. Michael Douglas is Nick, San Francisco cop. He's under an internal affair investigation because he was apparently coked out of his mind, killed 2 tourists. His wife killed himself. He used to drink. He used to do cocaine. Now he's trying to go through IA. He's had a relationship with his therapist played by Jean Triplehorn, which I liked her. I thought she did a good job in this. He's investigating this murder of this rock star. They talk to the guy's girlfriend, Sharon Stone, who's a writer. As she goes, I wasn't dating him, I was fucking him. And Sharon Stone definitely plays a conniving, manipulative bitch. Which makes sense, because that's who she is in real life. So she played herself. That's what I think. Sharon Stone plays herself. She is a conniving, manipulating, two-faced bitch who will stab you in the back when she feels like it. Like when she gave... That was a story where Wes Craven gave him like a bunch of dead roses as a type of message. I forget the details of that. And other people will tell you about how she would just be controlling and be a diva and manipulating. That's why later on when her star fell off, no one wanted to cast her in shit. Because she treated people like crap. I know the director of Basic Instinct 2 said about how she would just purposely do stuff to act like a star. She would arrive late. She would do this or do that just because she could. With screwed up production. Now granted, no matter what, Basic Instinct 2 was going to suck, but that didn't help. And this film's a lot better than the sequel, I'll give you that. So yeah, the acting by Michael Douglas, I always liked as an actor. I always thought he was very solid, had a great presence, great voice that he got from his dad, Kirk. And whether it be The Game, or Romancing the Stone, or, like I said, Disclosure, Fatal Attraction, it was cool to see him. He always had that great stature and presence to him. And again, Sharon Stone works well as a manipulator. So it's not the acting I have a problem with. Again, Michael Douglas' partner, I think, is the best character in the movie to me. Because the story is, as the movie goes on, he falls for Sharon Stone. He starts drinking again. She'll say stuff like, "You ever fucked on cocaine, Nick?" He starts trailing her. You have a little bit of car chases. He starts looking into info about her life and her backstory, and there's stuff that she wrote in her book that seemed similar, and as she would go, well, why would I write in the book? I would be giving myself away. Well, maybe you want to do that. And ultimately falls for her, has sex with her. And constantly the partner would tell him about how he's being manipulated. And what I mean, even other lines he says, like, "Oh, you got nothing better to do than jack off this damn machine? Well, what are you here for? I'm here to come over here and jack off this damn machine." But you will tell Michael Douglas, "You goddamn son of a bitch. You're one dumb son of a bitch." I'm like, he's right. Or, "That's her pussy talking, not your brain." I'm like, he's right. Or, "Man, I think her pussy fried your brain." I'm like, he's right. It did. His partner is right the whole time, because Michael Douglas just comes off as such a fucking moron that just... I know that's the purpose, but god damn, it got so infuriating that it just made me lose my fucking cool. Because that's really the rest of the film. It's just a guy getting his brain rotted by pussy. And I don't know with Sharon Stone, I don't know if it'd be good or bad pussy. I don't know. I don't ever want to find out, because she's a good-looking lady at this time, but her soul is rotten. And it may be a good-looking lady, but if you have a rotten soul, I still want to stay away from it, because there's no good to come of it afterward. And that's the thing, is that most of the rest of the film is just him getting horny for Stone, who I don't like, because she's, I think, an evil person in real life. So that's okay. This guy's, and I'm sitting there going, this girl is easily the bad guy. She's blatantly pretty much telling you she is multiple times that she's a villain. But people too fucking stupid, except his partner. I kind of wish his partner was the lead, if it was from his point of view. That he'd be the lead and he saves Michael Douglas and stops Sharon Stone. That would actually be interesting to me. So it's like Michael Douglas's Search for Pussy, the movie, and it's just like, okay, it wasn't as interesting to me as it is to a lot of people. I mean, people talk about the way it's directed. It's directed fine, but there's nothing in terms of camera angles, camera movements, cinematography that I haven't seen in other movies like Color of Night or Bruce Willis or other erotic thrills of this era. Plot-wise, it just spin in circles of Douglas getting horny for Sharon Stone. He finds information. And then the way the movie, spoiler, leads into... Then the shrink Gene Triplehorn gets become a suspect. I'm like, come on. This is clearly bullshit. Like, if Gene Triplehorn really did become the bad guy, I'm like, wow, I would have been fooled. Wow, that caught me off guard. Because it does seem so clear Sharon Stone's the bad guy. If she really wasn't, and she was blah, 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 I mean, wow, that really would have caught me off guard. But I'm like, no, it's clearly Sharon Stone. These people believing that Gene Triplehorn are fucking idiots. And then, lo and behold, I was right. When I first saw it, I'm like, before I even knew anything of the film. I knew, like, the bare essentials, but it's like, come on, man. Even as Gene Triplehorn says, you're being manipulated by her. I'm like, yeah, it's clearly to anybody. It's clear to his partner. It's clear to the shrink. It's not clear to Douglas, because he's a fucking moron in the movie. Complete idiot. And then it gets his partner gets killed in the elevator, which was disappointing, because I like that character. And then there's Gene Triplehorn, which, for a shrink, she acts fucking stupid too. Because she sees Michael Douglas steered, waving a gun in front of her. She knows that his past, he has shot 2 tourists accidentally. Then she's putting her hand in her pocket. Granted, it's some kind of thing where she has a tendency to look at her keys. But it's like, you know what he's capable of. You're a shrink. You would be smarter than this. But no, lo and behold, he shoots her, finds that there's just teas in there, and still by the end believes that she did it and Sharon Stone is innocent, where, of course, at the very end, they kiss, the camera pans down, and there's the ice pick. Oh, she was the killer all along. Yeah, I fucking knew that. Not a big fucking surprise. And the water is wet. Hey, the sky is blue. Big fucking surprise. So, I didn't care about the mystery. Just thought the mystery was blatantly obvious from the get-go. So there's no surprise there. It's just really this circling of the drain of Michael Douglas's brain cells as his dick is getting more wet. Must have been a hell of a pussy. Like the guy says, it fried his brain. I know people love Jerry Goldsmith's music. I love Jerry Goldsmith. The music here, it was there, but it's not my favorite of his. I much prefer his music in Total Recall, Star Trek the Motion Picture, first three Rambo films, Leviathan, Runaway. The score here I thought was... Honestly, I don't remember much about the score. It wasn't bad, but it's not that I would listen to on my own. Interesting. I mean, the whole scene where they interrogate her, I think that film is just, it's been so parody so much throughout the years. Like whether Hot Shots 2 or other, did they just, that scene got parodied so many times that for me, as a guy that didn't grow up with the film, that's only seen this twice now, it just kind of, for me, doesn't have the same effect as it does other people. Great, she showed her snatch. I would not want to get near it because it probably would bite my dick off and chew it up and spit it back in my mouth. That's who Sharon Stone is. Parasitical prick. I mean, effects-wise, I like the bit with the going through the nose, and then really the only other graphic bit is when the cop gets killed in the elevator, but it's kind of just stabbed in the neck like this. I don't know. I mean, I have to watch it again, but I may like Color of Night more than this. Well, I remember not being gung-ho about that either, but I'm saying between the two, because that has a much more crazy cast and also like a much weirder plot. That actually kind of kept me on guard as to who the killer was. Yeah, I probably would rather watch Color of Night than this. Aside from Bruce Willis's dick, I don't need to see that ever again. I just don't. I don't. Sharon Stone definitely made a mark with her look and her sexiness physically and her manipulative aura. That's a standout that I'm sure a lot of people felt makes the film. I can understand that. Michael Douglas is a solid actor in almost anything he does. I can't think of a movie he's done that he was bad. He was bad in it. So he does have two good performances. It's just I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about the mystery or lack thereof. The resolution was just more infuriating, just of how fucking stupid he was and just how everyone got so easily played. At least to me it was. I don't know, it just wasn't a satisfying story for me at least. For what I'm into, what I get into movies of, so. When I think of Paul Verhoeven films, this isn't one that comes to mind as to rewatch again. For me, it's more RoboCop, Total Recall. I like Starship Troopers more than this. I definitely like Hollow Man more than this, which has a few erotic tendencies as well. Like Hollow Man, I like a lot more than this. So, I mean, it's not as bad as Showgirls. Like I said, I don't think this is a bad film, but it's just not a film I really care to rewatch again. So take that for what you will. I know this is a controversial take, but even my stomach disagree with me. But if you heard that, sorry. Just my opinion. But with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.